What up again? It's Julian, the voice, here with another Daytok here on Trust the Plus. I didn't go anywhere, guys. I'm still here. Had some stuff coming up, and then again, still working on some other projects and stuff that I got going on. But anyway, you're listening. Again, welcome to Trust the Plus, where the word and life come together to make sense. And today, right, we're in 2 Chronicles 15:7, right? And this is important. It says, "But as for you, be strong and do not give up, for your work will be rewarded." Be strong, do not give up, right? So a verse essentially, right, the synopsis of the verse is, even when facing challenges, one should remain steadfast in their faith and commitment to God, right, as their efforts will ultimately be recognized and rewarded by Him. It encourages perseverance and resilience in the face of adversity. So in other words, right, we're supposed to keep moving no matter what, right? But the part of the amazing thing about faith, right, is to turn around and be able to endure even when everything is not going the way it's supposed to, right? It's to trust that no matter what, in any situation, in any circumstance, that God is in full control. Right, and I get it, I know what you're thinking, right? That's easier said than done, man. What would happen if this, that, and the third, right? That's why exercising faith every day is important, right? Strengthening those muscles. You don't strengthen your faith every day, right? Then yes, those faith cramps kick up, right? That faith fatigue hits, and you don't find yourself to be as strong as you usually do because you're not trusting where you're supposed to, right? The life is already designed to turn around and be a struggle. Jesus already it's not like we didn't get the heads up. Right? I can understand if God said, do all of this and I won't tell you nothing. God literally told us that the world is going to turn around and give us some issues, right? Sin was introduced into the world. The world is naturally going to gravitate to doing things it shouldn't, right? We have to persevere against that. People got corrupted, right? We got corrupted. We didn't start off sinful. We got born into sin. Right? So people are going to naturally try to gravitate towards things they're not supposed to do. Faith help us turn around and endure against that, right? These are things that as you go through it, right, you got to think about more, right? Jesus even turned around and said that, they hated me, they're going to hate you. It's part of the nature of the walk, right? It's easy to conform and pretend like nothing's happening. It's easy to conform and just turn around and go with the flow. It's easy, but I can tell you right now, somebody who attempted that and did that, it is voidless. It don't amount to nothing. The same thing day in, day out. You're completely in the same spectrum as everything else, right? And everything feels empty. That's how you get the I feel like I'm moving without a purpose feeling, right? Faith doesn't do that to you. The Spirit doesn't do that to you, right? When you turn around and operate in faith and you operate in the Spirit and you continue to push forward and be strong and not give up, right? The reward is strength in itself, right? Don't think monetary, right? Don't jump into the deep end and start thinking, oh, I'm gonna get 1,000 statues and all this other nonsense. Like, don't immediately go to monetary, right? Think internally, right? Because that's the real true reward, right? That we keep on. This don't get emphasized in the church a lot because people are afraid that won't preach. Yeah, it should preach. You know what eternal peace is, man? You know what this is? Turn around and have things upside down and be unfazed. You don't? Well, I can tell you I do right now at this point in my life, and it is great. Right? I can see points in my life when my bank account is zero and just automatically know somehow, some way, if I keep moving forward, right, I'll be fine and it'll be right back where it's supposed to be, right? And lo and behold, it does, right? It'll fall down on the bill. I'll be fine. It'll turn around and be where it's supposed to be. I lost the car. I'll be fine. It'll come back to me. All these things I'm telling you out loud really happened. And guess what? They did come back, right? Because these are objects, right? But my peace being maintained, my internal self being maintained, my spiritual man being maintained, my faith being maintained and intact is why these things can be easily replaced. It's why I can turn around and strive forward and not be defeated. Right, so it gives you strength, right? It gives you a call to maintain courage and not be discouraged during difficulties. That's the reward, right? It gives you the reward of not giving up. You get to endure. Your spirit is a spirit of endurance, right? And God allows certain things to turn around and test your endurance, but it says in the scripture, God won't give you more than what you can endure. gonna let that sink in. So you mean God purposely turns around and does stuff? No. Don't flip words, right? God challenges us so that way we won't be drawn and attached to this world, right? Because we get this tendency of complacency and laxivity, right? And we stop progressing. The strength, because each and every one of us has a purpose, and that if we need to be able to fulfill that purpose, right, we need to be able to endure, to turn around and overcome. Right? So it has to happen, right? God's not doing anything. The world's going to do it anyway, but God turns around and makes sure that his people get to do it in a controlled environment where you overcome it. Imagine that, right? The world is going to life is going to life anyway, but God allows life to life in a way where God is in the center of it and you are untouched. Think about it that way. Because the scenario was going to happen either way. Whether you believe in God or you don't believe in God, these scenarios that turn around and play out, were going to play out anyway. So would you rather it play out when it's just you against the whole thing? Or would you rather play out with God on your team? That's a question you need to ask yourself, right? And then your reward, right? A promise from God that faithful actions will be recognized and acknowledged. Meaning that the more we turn around, continue to carry forward with a head held high, glorify God even in moments, and rejoice even in moments that wouldn't naturally call for it, right? God is faithful. And God will reward that with more progress, with more strength, with more endurance, right? With more purpose. There's a bigger picture in all of this, and God needs us stronger for it, right? So keep it up. It's not in vain. It's not for no reason. I know what it looks like, right? It's not going to last forever. The verse says, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. May endure for a night, right? It's not even guaranteed that you have to go through any of these struggles, right? Look at all change in the blink of an eye. But joy is guaranteed, and joy is guaranteed when we operate and move forward in faith. And it's not just when times are bad, it's when times are good. See, that's the funny part, right? We think that it's hard when times are bad. No, it's easy to remember God when times are bad. It's hard to remember God when things are going well, right? It's harder to stay strong on your faith when things are going well, because we get under the superstition, under the thought process, and the little microscope that we had something to do with it. No, we didn't. Right? Anyway, all that to turn around and say, that's why I came back strong. had to make up for the 2 days I missed, right? All this to turn around and say that, again, stay in the fight. Stay in it. Talk to people. Communicate with people, right? Don't give up. Don't give up. The alternative of letting the world win, or letting yourself get defeated, or just succumbing to everything and just thinking like, what's the point? That's not an option. It's not a solution, right? It's exactly what it sounds like. It's just self-destruction. And that leads nowhere, and it helps no one, and it doesn't solve anything. So stay in it, because the reward is great. The Bible tells me so. So that's all I got for you today. All right, and I'll catch you next time on the next Daytok. So remember, no mess, no fuss. Always trust the plus. Peace out.